Section 3.7, example 49, chapter opener, traffic accidents in a city. So from here, it was a little too much for me to write, so I just copied it. So chapter opener, we stated the following problem. Suppose that at a busy intersection, traffic accidents occur at an average rate of 1 every 3 months. After residents complained, changes were made to the traffic lights at the intersection. It has now been 8 months since the changes were made, and there have been no accidents. Where the changes affect or is the 8th month interval without an accident a result of chance. So probability theory tells us that if the average time between events is k, the probability that x, the time between events, is between a and b given this equation here. So thus, if accidents are occurring at the rate of 1 every 3 months, then the probability that x, the time between accidents, is between a and b is given by this equation here. So to answer the question, we must compute the probability of x being greater than or equal to 8, which is this problem right here, and decide whether it is likely that 8 months could have passed without an accident if there have been no improvement to the traffic. So let's see. Is it fair to state that or not? So looking at this, we're going to compute the probability of x being greater than or equal to 8. So improper integral, let's state it using a limit. So the limit as b approaches infinity of the integral from 8 to b, 3e to the negative 3x dx. So now at this point we could integrate. So leaving the improper part, so limit as b approaches infinity of this integral. So we have 3 times negative 1/3. So we have negative e to the negative 3x integrated from 8 to b. So the limit as b approaches infinity. We could throw this negative out here. E to the negative 3 times b minus e to the negative 3 times 8. Negative. Here at this point, we could evaluate. So we have negative times, since this is going off to infinity and this is actually the reciprocal, we could think of it as e to the infinity, which this would give us a really, really, really big number, which makes that whole fraction go to 0. So we have that minus e to the negative 24. Altogether, this would be e to the negative 24, which tends to be a really, really small number, but nonetheless, it converges to this value. So because it's a really, really tiny number, the probability of it happening is also very, very, very small. So I'd say that the likelihood of an accident happening is very, very tiny. And that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, bye.